It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millis Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millis Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Come summertime, we're feeling fine, fishing on the lake, flipping jigs and Carolina rigs, from early morning till real late. Bonfires on the creek bank, kick back a couple beers. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Next year's doesn't until you know winter's on the way. Brushing blinds and deer stands. Fever starts to creep. Fill our freezers full of ducks, lots of tender deer. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we
another one on the B&B Silver Shade.
So grab your guns and shells, boys. Put on your camouflage. 'Cause we command the outdoors around here. We command the outdoors.
Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones Crockett.
Got it. First one, 2023, Smackdown.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast 251, Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report with my outdoor reporters Kevin Sims, Joe Allen Dunn, and Shane Jones. And boys, we got to update that intro. That intro is old, and we need.
I got plenty of videos, Big Daddy. I don't know about them, but I got plenty.
I got Shane covered, and I'm covered, and I reckon I can put Travis in the place of Joe Allen. Then you get me something, because we need to change that intro.
Well, I'll tell you what. After I took time off. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I sold my boat, and I said I'm gonna take the fall and this winter off from fishing. I'm gonna let all the young guys get out there and catch some fish, and not, me being in there showing out or nothing. I'm gonna let y'all take the stage. But now I got some electronics and I got a new boat, and after that I'm gonna hurt some feelings now.
Well, I can tell you from experience, those electronics are only as good as the person that's running them. And
well, I've been trained by Shane, so I'm pretty darn good at it. I just ain't had done like this. And I got to shout out to Town and Country Bank. I got my loan there for the boat and everything, and I was Richard Wright's last loan.
Oh man, that couldn't be no better.
And he retired, and I got that. And I'm gonna tell you, all my experiences with Town and Country Bank have been great.
Yeah.
It's nothing like walking into a bank and knowing your loan officer, shaking his hand, and getting. Well, he had me out and gone probably about 30 minutes or less.
When me and Joe Allen, he bought an Astro. I had an Astro, and he went and bought him an Astro, and that might have been his first one. Yeah, it was in the beginning. It might have been because that's when he first got to be a loan officer. Yeah, way back when we were fishing tournaments.
Well, it's been a good run with me too. When Hal was there, he was my man. I'm telling you, it was. Richard's been there for 40 years, y'all. 40 years.
It made me feel old.
I mean, really. I mean, bless his heart. But I hope he does enjoy hunting and fishing. The only regret I got is we never got him to come out here and sit in the show. We got G out here, and now G done jumped the ship. So I don't know. John Wonders is at the Town Country United Bank, and Jordan Dunham's still there. So we might.
I bet that Richard's got one more regret, selling that daggum house.
Yeah.
He did say that when I was in there. See, you ain't decided to sell me that house back. I said, I'm sorry, Richard, it's gone.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a great history, and I tell you, Town Country United Bank's been good to us too, sponsoring this show every week, and as old Ken Clayton on here, Ken Clayton made the announcement this week. I don't know if y'all saw it on my Facebook page. He's got some family issues, some health issues with his family, and he's not going to be able to be the tournament director for the Jackpot Fruit Jar tournaments on Thursday afternoons this year. And I tell you, that'll be a missed event. So I hope some young kid will pick the ball up and take it. But Ken's been doing it for 25 years, y'all. 25 years.
That's a long run. I mean, he's got to find some subordinate under him that want to take it on, because the mill has been, them guys, that's been a great tournament.
It really has. It really has. And maybe somebody will take it on.
There's been a lot of junk talking at work over the years.
I just got through doing the podcast with Mr. Doug Max. He made the announcement that the Alabama Turkey Hunters Hall of Fame will induct their first class in June of 2024. And it's very interesting how they got that thing going and how they going to work it. And so the state of Alabama now has an official Alabama Turkey Hunters Hall of Fame. And I tell you what, it's a lot of turkey hunters in the state that deserve to be in it. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah, we need to do a little research on how you vote and how you like for people.
Well, he said, he tells it, they got a 9-member committee. Mm-hmm. And that 9-member committee each can make 3 nominations a year. And then they so I that's how you do it. And they've already made the ones for 2024.
Who are they going to be, Big Daddy?
He wouldn't tell me. They hadn't announced it yet. But he said he'll announce it.
Eddie Salter, who's going to be in there?
In the committee, he named them all. I can't remember all of them.
On the hall, they go induct into the Turkey Hunting Hall of Fame.
Oh, I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. I know Eddie's one of them because he spilled the beans last week on the podcast. Eddie's going to be one of them. And
I bet Ben Rogers Lee will be a nuddin.
I bet he'll be in there too. And Tom Kelly, it's some heavy hitters out there. It sure is. Anyway, I enjoyed talking with Doug, and I gave him some scoop to tell you tomorrow when you get on live with him on the show tomorrow, Joe Allen. I gave him a little tidbit or two about you. Doug, when you call in tomorrow and do your fishing flash, I told him to get a cooking report instead of a fishing report. You need to let Travis call in and give him a fishing report.
Oh, you talking about with
Alan White?
Yeah. Well, I tried to get Shane to do it last week for me.
Yeah, I was going to try. I got tied up working. So
Shane was working and couldn't do it, and you wouldn't do it. So y'all just shut up. If I have to do it, I'll do it. But I'll let y'all do it anytime.
I know the breaking news this afternoon. Y'all probably have all heard it. Nick Saban has retired. That's breaking news. Ain't got nothing to do with the outdoors, but he's gone. He's gone. So I'm kind of glad. I'm glad for him. I really am. But anyway, let's go to some news. The biggest news. You know, I talk every week about safety, 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 and dadgummit, one of the top outdoor people in the world, one that knows better, Jeff Byron, fell out of a dead tree stand and broke his neck and back. And if he hadn't have been in as good a shape as he in, it'd have probably killed him. But we sure want to shout out to Jeff, and I know Hannah's going to take care of him, but he took a pretty good fall, I guarantee you. So.
Well, Big Daddy, that's what I asked Bubba the other day. I said, how many of those hunter safety harnesses did we sell this year? And Bubba said, this is the lowest number we've ever sold. We didn't sell but maybe 3 or 4. But they make a system where you can set it up where you're hooked up the whole time.
Yeah.
Whether you're putting your stand or you're going up into your stand. And that is a system you need. And especially young kids, they need that system where they're harnessed up from the time they leave the ground till they get up there and sit down. And if they fall, it's got them the whole time.
Well, you know, I got a buddy up there in Wetumpka that does Outdoor Friends Forever, Jim Hardy, and he's the first paraplegic bass fisherman that won one of those Bassmaster Opens, and he fell out of a tree, and he's paralyzed from the chest down, and now Jeff will you know, he's not going to be paralyzed, but he is going to have a great platform with all the followers that he's got and Hannah's got. He's going to have a great platform now to pound the podium for people to wear those harnesses, and I think if anybody can get it across to him, he can. Cause y'all know it. All 3 of y'all are just like you know. Y'all go up there. My brother does it. He's 70 years old. He'll climb up in a 12-foot tree stand and not even think nothing about it. You do it, Shane. You do it.
Joe Allen's talking about that safety line that goes. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You take it up and you take your excuse me, and slide it up as you go up. I think Jeff Barron was going to check an old stand.
Yeah, that's
he
what
stepped in it and the strap broke. Which, you know, I'm 270 pounds. I ain't checking no stand. Unless I hang it, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people that all the time. I'm not going to hunt anybody's stand unless I was with them when they hang it, because, you know, you throw that safety line around that tree and you're hooked up on your D-rings, you know, you can check whatever you want to. So.
Hey, Bud wants to know, when are we going to get a Joe Allen Dunn crappie fishing Hall of Fame? We ought to start our own crappie fishing.
Hey, that's a very good idea. We start a Miller's Ferry Hall of Fame crappie fishing and start off with some of the heroes that had passed away, and build it up till we get to start catching on the old folks.
Man, I can go back.
The old folks is way above me that need to be in there first.
Yeah, I can go all the way back to them old days when them guys from Mackenzie and Georgiana down there used to come up here, and I tell you what, Marvin McIntyre, good Lord, Marvin McIntyre, Joe Champion. I mean, really.
Well, I mean, that would be cool. Like we had something like that at Bridgeport Landing, where we could put names on the down.
Well, we need to start us a Miller's Fair committee and do that. That's what I'll talk to Doug and see how you got that started.
Well, all you got to do is do it. That's all it is.
Just, you know, look at him. Let you talk about that. Now, I didn't look at him. This is Johnny Duncan. Because this wasn't Miller's Ferry, that was down there around Claiborne, 3.39. Now, he tell me he's a hell of a crappie fisher.
Oh, yeah. But Johnny's a fisherman. If he goes, whatever he targets, he comes back with a miss of them.
3.39.
Johnny held the state record bass in Alabama at one time.
Yes. He caught one out of Crow's Pond that weighed 14.11 something, I think. There was a record for a hot minute, and they caught one out of Millry to beat it.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't no doubt that was a 3-pounder right there. Even if the scale's off, that's a 3-pounder right
Oh
there.
yeah, that's a big black critter.
All right, one more thing before we get to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report, Shane. This is for you. And I looked close. I looked close when that news broke up there in Leeds, Alabama. That naked man jumped in it. I wanted to make sure it wasn't you, Shane.
I got a bunch of messages actually says, "That you jumping in there?" I said, "Man, no, I've thought about jumping in there, but it wasn't me."
Who was it? You know the guy that did? Did you know him?
I don't know him. I heard through the grapevine. It may just be rumors. Big Daddy, he was a military vet, and they changed some medication on him.
Okay.
And buddy, he crashed his car in the parking lot, stripped down, went in there, and went to running. You know, I don't know what all kind of meds they had him on, but he was having a good time, and I'm glad nobody got hurt. But maybe the fish tank got a little dirty, but he had a good time. It looked like
he belly flopped it.
Yeah, that would have killed him if he hadn't been. Woo. But no, it wasn't me. I'm still kicking. So
I got a couple of calls too. Want to know where you were?
I got several messages. I was like, man, that wasn't me. I got that video sent to me 100 times. I bet.
That's got up there by your house.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report, and let me tell you what change a week has made. Miller's Ferry is flooded.
Yes.
It is. I mean, we got some rain. That rain all is soaked in. Looks like it's going to crest it below the dam at 68.5, and then up in Selma at 39.3. And that's going to be tomorrow and Friday. So we got some big water coming. It's logs floating down the river. I went below the dam and did a video. It's roaring. So everything is changing now. Travis went up into the alligator slough today, and he said it is full of shad, Joe Allen.
Yeah, I knew. He called me and said he was going. I said, it's going to push them now. They going to
and the bait and the fish, they finna get. They ain't got no choice. You know, they got to get in the back.
Finally, I mean, we've been waiting on it since last spring.
Yeah.
I mean, really, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, Miller's Ferry is like Jekyll and Hyde. It's like a river sometimes, and like we've had all fall, it's like a lake. You know, when they don't pull water, it's like a lake. When the water is flowing, it turns back into a river system.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I don't know what it's going to do this weekend. It's going to start going down, but if you're a catfisherman right now is the time to be putting some limb lines out, because that's when I know Philip Sims and them tear them up when that river goes to rise up. All right, let's talk about catfish. I mean, the story of the week in the catfishing world was Travis called me the other day, y'all, and I went down there and took these pictures. And he had, when I took these pictures, he had 7 fish that weighed 230 something pounds. And then he went right back down there and run another jug and caught another one. He had 8 catfish that weighed 274 pounds and missed another one that would have made it go over 300 pounds. Now, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That was below the dam. He was fishing jugs 2 to 3 feet long, and
with no current.
No current, and he also was using skipjack for bait. But I'm going to tell you what, he released all of them, but I'm telling you what, that you don't see that too often right there. All right, Joe Allen, this weekend, also down in the Delta, did you see those boxes that Captain Troy was running? And man, they were filling them up with them little squealers, man. I used to love to get them little squealers from Randy Daly. I mean, so I don't know if boxes are running.
They died.
Yeah, that was Troy running boxes down there.
But you got to take that basket and put it off Joe Allen's Pier and do the same thing. You can put some cottonseed meal in there, throw it off there right now,
high water,
now through probably February, and you have 10 or 12 of them in there. You ain't got to check it every day. The water's cold enough now that they won't die. But you can get them good whole fryers right there in Joe Allen Slough in a basket.
What is the laws, rules, and regulations on running a box? Do you have to have a commercial license?
Box is a commercial license. A basket is a special license. The basket. You have two. Is it 2 or 3 apiece?
I don't forget, but it's definitely different. The basket license ain't about $2 or $3.
That's right. But box, you got to have a commercial license. Box.
All right, the Alabama Catfish Series announced their 2024 schedule today. It's about like it was last year, so maybe Big Mama Bryant can get him another crown this year. But now let's talk a minute about catfishing, Joe Allen and Kevin. If you're going to come this weekend in that high water, what's the plan? What's the deal? I've already mentioned limb lines. But it'll be falling out this weekend, so the limb lines might not be as productive as jugs.
It depends on where you put them.
If you fishing above the dam, you fishing in flats where we normally do with your jugs and your sloughs with the limbs out hanging over the limb lines, they're all going to be very, very productive. Now, if you're a brave man, and I say a brave man, you can go down below and still catch them.
Woo!
I remember watching a lot of videos with Lonnie Ray pulled up behind that short wall, and it'd be shaking that pontoon boat up and down behind it, and he'd throw his line down there and would fill that pontoon boat up with catfish down there.
I thought about Lonnie Ray when I went down there this afternoon and did that video. I knew right where he would be. I know right where he'd be anchored down.
Yeah, but you got to be a brave man if you want to do that.
I miss old Lonnie Ray. But anyway, catfishing is going to be good for the next few days. Let's talk about bass fishing now. They canceled the Pride of the South tournament in Selma this weekend. Kevin, I hadn't seen many. I go to the landing 2 or 3 times a week. The only person I ever see down there consistently that I know is bass fishing is Tommy Bridges. What you hear? Are they catching bass?
Well, I actually heard Tommy was, but I know that a couple guys that the fish were starting to kind of get where they're supposed to get, but they were hard to catch. And I think that was all the clear water and all, but they was like seeing stuff on the electronics, like in your cuts and like, out in front of your legs. And sometimes they'd be up on it, back and forth, on where they're supposed to be, but they were hard to catch. And I'm assuming that's the water been so clear because I went last, Sunday before last, and I was at Hollis Ferry below the dam, and it was an hour. We got there really early, 30 minutes before we could put in really and be able to see where we was going. I walked down there, and I ain't never seen the end of the concrete at all fair. I was like shining my phone down there. I could see the end of the concrete. It was 5 foot deep right there with no water running. And I'm like looking at the daggone concrete. It's so clear. And that's like really, really uncharacteristic for this time of year, especially, if you want to call it in the Claiborne Lake. But
changed now though. Everything's changed now.
Oh yeah,
what's this high water?
Time fishing now, and it'll transition into spring. I've been like terrible. It's like we have a 2-week spring. We have winter time. We have a 2-week spring. We have summertime. That's the way it's been. It seems like.
But it's just. But now, what are your tactics, or what do you do in that water?
Crankbait, swim baits, the diamond bait A-rigs, jigs, I would say, the crankbait has been most effective in the schools, but your swim bait and your A-rig's gonna work, it's just attitude. It's all about attitude, and technique. You got that A rig. If you don't keep it real close to the bottom, kind of ticking stuff like that as you come up, whether you're fishing live scope or just fishing, that if you watch them fish, if that thing starts to rise in the water column before it gets where the fish is at, they don't even pay no attention. It's got to kind of come through there before it ever starts to accelerate away from them. But the shad pattern, once water gets a little color in it, you start throwing, maybe a little crawfish, but shad's gonna be the number one pattern. And I like the one with the kind of like the blue back when the water gets dirty, and because most of them got a little color on their throat. Them crankbaits, like with a little yellow, a little dark gray, something contrast right there, on the throat of the crankbait. But shad, I mean, this is the point where they got to start gorging to get ready for the spawn. Especially your bigger fish have got to gorge more than a little fish because they got to add so much weight to make it through the spawn. If they don't, they'll be so poor and sick. They won't be able to survive. Like a big female, especially if she ages, she takes so much punishment from all them rooster bass hitting her and knocking. That's why you see them fish with all them swords on them. They got a lot. The spawn is a traumatic thing for them fish. So they got to have. They got to do a lot of eating and a lot of get going to make it to summertime.
What about that jig we used to throw that we got made into?
Oh yeah, the little bucktail jigs like it. Yeah, in that downsize, and it's a window in there. When they're getting ready to spawn a little later than now. That whenever I ain't saying bedding fish, but whenever they're like looking around. You throw it, it won't work. But now some days you can throw a little bait up in there and like whack, it's going to get it, But that's a hard, if you don't have both of them rigged up and keep trying, you won't ever figure out that, But we did, like I remember when we was using a bucktail jig that the hair didn't even hang down to the arch and the hook. It was like mostly just a fuzz around the head and a naked hook.
All right, let's go to crappie fishing. Dale Woodard got him a live scope for Christmas and put it to work. Had him a 281 the other day. I know right where he was fishing. And Mike Letkins had to go all the way down to Highway 84 to catch some fish below the dam the other day. We've already talked about Johnny Duncan's 3.39-pound fish caught down there around Claiborne. I want to congratulate Scott and Kelly Mitchell. They won, what was that, Shane, the Crappie USA tournament?
Yes, sir.
That's on your lake down there, wasn't it, down in Florida?
Yes, sir, down at Lake Talcon, down in Tallahassee. Sure was.
Shane, you came here this weekend. Well, you went to Demopolis Saturday. Talk about Demopolis, talk about Miller's Ferry Sunday, and then talk about this high water and what you're going to do if you come this weekend.
Yeah, it's all changed since Saturday, but I'm going to draw you guys a scenario. When the water's low like this, those fish get to really spread out. They get to, 5 and 6 fish, and it's kind of aggravating because you got to cover so much water. I went to Demopolis, caught 15 fish out of one top, and I noticed right where the tree forks, the trunk, where that trunk forks, that's where those fish were stacked up at. It's somewhere they can get because it's easy. Even if there is a little current, they can hang out there. There wasn't a lot of bait in the river. We kept 40 fish, seen a lot of fish. Could have kept on, but I'd had to hit some more spots. Miller's Ferry, Sunday, I went and found some fish in some big trees, but there wasn't a lot of them. I caught a 2-3 and a couple 180s, some good fish, but I didn't see a lot of fish, and I called Big D. I said, man, there's no bait out here in the river. There's none. I didn't see any bait. I checked a few creeks, and it was kind of a ghost town, but that's all changed. That's hearsay now. Now we get in a position where the fish get pushed to the slack water, to the eddies, to the creeks. Like this weekend coming up, they may settle down and get on some structure, but they also may be suspended out there, guys. These big fish are suspended where they're comfortable. Because what they do, when that water pushes them, a guy told me, and it makes sense, crappie know where they are all the time. They don't do anything by mistake. They've got the ladder lines, they got the fins. They know when that fish is backing up, and they're gonna go where that eddy carries them in those currents. So check your creeks right down from those trees you caught fish in the past. They're not gonna go far. It's gonna push them in there. Now they say there's bait in there. Start looking. The water's colored, so you can they're not going to be so indecisive like they are. They don't have a lot of time to determine if they need to eat that or not. They can't be as picky. You know, that's the number one thing. Like Kevin was saying, how clear the water is. Clear water just kills you. They get to watch your bait and they can follow it for 10 feet, like they were doing to me Sunday. I seen some giant crappie. I mean, I know some 3-pound pluses that did not take my bait. I mean, I've seen them. You know, I catch a 2-3 and it's the smallest one of the whole school. So hopefully this water is going to settle them down. We need it. We need that, we need that off-colored water, that stained water. It puts more nutrients in the water. I mean, river system thrives on high water. It's got to have it.
That's right. Well, Shane, this transition we had the water jumping up right now. The temperatures are having a really good cold front. It's probably 2-day transition before the fish is settled down and get
I would say so. You know, I know we used to, when the hot water used to get high, we would go to the deeper banks in these creeks and just look, and you would see some just kind of chilling 7, 8, 9 foot deep, just adjusting to everything, because it's a shock to them. I imagine it is, because you go from, 4 turbines to equivalent of 12 or 14 as fast as that water's moving. I went to Rome, Georgia today, and Weiss Lake is just rolling. It's coming down. So it's coming down through Logan Martin and Lay and Mitchell and, Jordan and coming to y'all. So hopefully it's going to make fishing a lot better.
We ought to have I would say have 4 or 5 degree change in the water temperature too.
Oh yeah. That cold rain, cool it off. You got some cold temperatures coming, but don't let that stop you guys. Hey, there's going to be some trash in the water. Just take your time, but go look. Because right now, if you ever find them, you find them.
And now, Shane, you started a little controversy between you and John Farmer today about color. Talk about that, because you was talking about it, and Travis called me today wanting to know about colors, and I told him this is the kind of water where we go to that chartreuse and black Reuben.
Yeah,
Florida.
that's true, man. Don't get me wrong, monkey milk will catch them all the time, but you got to realize when the water's staying that monkey milk, you got to be real precise and everything with your cast and everything. They're not going to key in on that bait, but your scent now, your sound, and the colors. I throw a lot of black chartreuse. I throw a lot of John Deere green and chartreuse. Me and you throw like this bait right here I just got. That's a platinum. It's silver. I'll put that on a chartreuse head and throw it in any muddy water. It's a brand new bait, the brand new color from Limits Tackle. But I mean, they're always going to hit. They're always going to hit the monkey milk. I always aggravate John, but now you can use some brighter colors and key in on these fish. But don't be scared. Like I said, the water by Saturday, the water ought to be. I don't know how much rain we're going to get Friday, but we needed this to reset the river. I call it a reset. I really want the rivers to reset and position the fish where they'll bunch up more and get in a general area instead of being all spread up and down the river.
You see what Travis says, there's thousands of shad in the clear water deep sloughs.
Oh yeah, that's where they went. I don't necessarily trace all those baits, but they're going to be not far from those baits. That 2-pound, 3-ounce crappie I caught 227, its belly couldn't hold any more shad, so she was eating them somewhere. I don't know if she was eating them in the main river or right there, but she had eaten them somewhere. She was full as she could be of them. Of course, I let her go, but all the other fish I cleaned were full of shad. So.
Now, talk about that a minute, too, Shane, because every weekend you catch a 2-pound or 2-3. We caught a 227 when me and you was out there, and you always release those big fish. Talk about that.
First things first, they don't eat, they don't fry up. You have to cut them in half to fry them up to make them taste like a 10, 11-inch fish. There's no sense in killing the fish if you don't have to. Now you can measure and get a replica. Nobody hardly does skin mounts. So, but if I've got a live well with 10, 11 inches, I'm not going to kill a 2-pound fish. That's just me personally. I hope a kid catches that fish and lights him up, and I had something to do with it. That's what I like. I mean, I've caught plenty of them, And some days you go out there and catch a bunch of 2-pounders, and people like to keep them. But I mean, I go to Demopolis, it's a bunch of 10, 11, 12-inch fish, and there's plenty of eaters. But come to Miller's Ferry, those big old, they lay a lot of eggs. And I want to, and live scope, you catch a lot. A lot of people catch a lot more fish with live scope than they used to. Myself, I catch less, believe it or not. But I just always let them go. It's a personal preference. There's no science really behind it, in my opinion. But they just don't eat as good as the small ones.
All right, let me tell you this. Tomorrow night on Crappie Cast, 7 o'clock, Shane Jones Fishing, Facebook and YouTube. You and John and Jessica got the man, the legend, Mr. Eric Cagle's going to come on now. What's he going to be talking about?
Well, he's got a new rod coming out in March. He just went on a trip out to Louisiana and Arkansas, and they caught some giant fish. I mean, he's responsible for mine and John's kind of upbringing on the live scope and the casting the way we fish. So I guess you could say he's a mentor to us, because both of us went out with him 4 or 5 years ago now, and he kind of honed us in and we ran with it. But he's responsible for a lot of fish that hit my boat, and that man catches a ton of fish too.
Ooh, he does every day.
Every day, yes sir, he does.
Mike Lincoln said he caught 156 fish last week on that Limits Black and Chartreuse Limits tackle.
That's a good bait. I mean, Steve does a great job. They're tough. That's a little stinger tail. They're just good baits. He's a good guy, and I like to support, good people. And I got some gray ghost. There's 50 of them in that bag right there. I've donated a bunch of them, and I promise you, when they won't eat nothing else, they'll eat that gray ghost.
But you better get you one of them locking knocks to get it out of the damn bushes.
Hey, a lock and knocker, go right down there and knock that jig off. Joe Allen, you need to get some of them in the store. I used one, and I'll tell you about it after the show. It's a lead. It's shaped like a torpedo and has a plastic insert, and your line goes in it, and you close it. You get your line tight, slide it down, poof, it just knocks your jig off. It's like an old plug knocker, but it's made for really crappie jigs.
Yeah, those are. That sounds like a real good, because there was another guy doing something similar that a long, long time ago.
Right.
It was a paper clip stuck down in a little piece of lead.
Same thing.
That would sound.
Yeah, it's got a plastic insert. Don't mess your line up, but you just get your line tight and you throw it down, poop. Because these jigs aren't cheap. They're not cheap, and you don't want to donate. Ruben Flores or these jigs. They're really good to have. But Limits Tackle, Steve at Limits Tackle. This is a new platinum color he's come out with, and John says it's something else. I'm gonna find out this weekend. So.
All right, let's go to the small game. I don't have Owen Rouse and some of his buddies nails down wood ducks and blue-winged teal this weekend. You hearing any duck stories, Kevin?
No, not nothing yet. But now Brody sent me a picture yesterday, and they had 10 inches of snow in Missouri, and so I mean all that cold. It's gonna be 4 degrees Friday. All that's coming down, so that if we gonna have any ducks the next 7-8 days, we're gonna get ducks, or either we ain't.
After next week, you should have them. I mean, I heard some people shooting them when I put in Ellis this Sunday. They were shooting. I'm sure they were. I ran into a fella. They shot some teal and stuff, but you gonna get. I talked to J.C. Carr. He lives in North Alabama. He said there's a big push coming as we speak. So.
Yeah. But, we ain't have, you kill a lot of wood ducks, teal here and there, it's just, we don't get the fronts to bring the mallards no more. Things kind of drifted up the flyway. But, when I moved to Camden over, 2 or 3 times a year, we go out and limit out on mallards, and have like some banner days,
Right. It's coming. At 12, 13 degrees next week, Monday and Tuesday night, it's going to, up here, it's going the high Tuesdays, not but like 30 something.
Yeah. So, I on the catfish ponds, going when me and Cameron's going to Birmingham, and I tell you what else I saw, Big Daddy, on one of those ponds. I saw about 15 or 20 bald eagles standing on that dam of that fish.
They love that catfish. They sure do. Hey, All right, that's the turkeys. The turkeys. I've never had as many pictures of turkeys sent to me as I did this past weekend. I'm talking about blowed up, gobbling, strutting turkeys, and 15 or 20 to the drove, long beard gobblers. I ain't never. I'm talking about from all over Alabama, not just around here, all over Alabama.
Well, now where everybody's feeding them, like over here by my house, I've got 11 gobblers. I mean, all of them's big because I've been feeding the deer there, and they're taking advantage of it too. They ain't dumb.
Well, Big Day, we ain't had the first winter day yet. I mean,
Yeah, you fixing to get it. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, the deer, I want to thank everybody for sending me those deer, but I'm gonna tell you, about after 2 hours of posting them on afternoon, y'all wearing old Big Dad out. But
they've had a great year, no kidding.
It's been a wonderful year, and I appreciate everybody sending me their deer. But the one that I was looking for the most this weekend was the 3-year wait on Travis. I mean, Joe Kevin coming the deer, and that didn't come.
We got out there. We had our orange on. We had everything ready. We put out our scents, and this scent right here done the best. We had this, and then we had some special golden extras out there too. But this thing, you light it up and stick it in out there in the field. I went way out and stuck it out, and we could sit there and watch it smoke. We'd see the smoke flying off this tank smoke stick. And when we did, first thing come in was one just switching his tail, looking, and it was spike, big long spikes. And me and Kim said, we know he come hunting that scent we was putting out.
Oh yeah, he had a big old circle around. Like he was young, he couldn't figure out where it was at. He's like walking all the way around and down a big old circle looking for it. That's good. I ain't never seen nothing like it. It looks like some kind of incense, like you finna have like a seance or something. Stick it to the ground.
Well, I got a message from you, from Travis, and he told me to tell you and Kevin that if y'all want to film a deer and kill a deer that's worth putting on film, all you got to do is call him. And he two more like this right here.
Live. It's always questionable with Travis.
Well,
no, he shot that one in a clear cut this morning. He told me the whole story.
Yeah.
That's a good old wide. That's a good Alabama deer too.
And he told me that he'll be glad to take you and Kevin and let y'all shoot one of them other ones that he got on camera.
Tell him, Big Daddy, tell Travis to make a video.
Right.
He ain't got nothing to make a video with. That phone he got, it's one of them $9.99 Obama phones, and it ain't worth throwing in the room.
Let me tell you something about Travis. You know who trained him to deer hunt? Cubby Champion and Eugene Odom.
There you go. There you go.
It was killed at.
Well, no, I'll be glad to bring the camera.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Coming video.
All right. Anything else, Joe Allen? What's going on at the store, Cent?
We got a lot of 30% to 40% off stuff. We got all the long sleeve shirts, the long sleeve T-shirts. By Drake, Browning, Vet. We got more clothes you can think of. It's on sale. Just come out there and ask Bubba, say, I want something, and make a deal with Bubba.
All right. That's a good deal. And I talked to Eddie the other day, and he said he's coming to see you for long. He's got some new turkey calls he wants to put in your store. And he said he's going to come up here one day. I think he said next week, go see you and over to Safford Hardware and Coast to Coast and Dunn Sports. And he's getting fired up for the turkey season.
Well, I'm looking forward to see Eddie because me and him go way back, and I talked to him a little bit since had his little episode, but I'm glad. I'm looking forward to see him.
Oh yeah, he's kicking high now. Tomorrow night, Crappie Cast, Shane Jones Fishing, Facebook and YouTube. John and Jessica, they were coming to Miller's Fair. I'm glad they backed out because it's a mess over there today.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Y'all
that.
Y'all gonna have Eric Cagle on that tomorrow night. That'll be watching. If you get a chance tomorrow night, Shane, get him to tell you the story of how he caught those 7 fish that weighed 16 pounds on Miller's Fair. It's an amazing story. I got it when we did the podcast, but he actually lured the male fish off the stumps and caught the female.
He caught the males and threw back in the females. Sure did. He hit the perfect storm that day. Sure did.
Yeah, but it's a great story to tell. All right, anything else y'all got? Anything else? Y'all did another good job, as always, on the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. Appreciate everybody tuned in. Got old Rusty Godbowl in the house. He said that Travis shot that deer at night. That's what
Call what you saw, Rusty. Call what you saw. We did it. Brody got moved in, got 7 feet Missouri Valley. About 10 inches snow for 2 days without stopping. And had the first day of class. I'm finna go home and call him and see how everything went. They practiced yesterday in the barn on the machines and on the spur board, whatever, he's like very excited and he's sitting in a catbird seat for a golden opportunity.
Well, let me ask you this: when does the actual rodeo season start?
Oh, the college rodeo. I mean, rodeo season don't never stop, but the college rodeo, the first one's probably in March. In which Brody won't be able to ride this spring on the college because of his transfer. He'll have to miss the spring. He'll be able to do some the semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, stuff, but he won't be able to actually ride in the Ozark region rodeos because of his transfer. But he may get to travel with them, may not. I don't know, because he said that Ken told him, that when we traveling, that somebody's got to stay here and feed all the animals. So Brody and it's a couple other guys that's ineligible this time too. So that he'll be hit or miss, but that it's cold up there. He said it was 21 yesterday. It was 17 was the low for tonight, and Friday I think 4 is the low. But he said that they prepared. They got the roads all blowed out. They got everything good. He got a little job yesterday. There was somebody called Ken and asked would one of the kids come shovel her driveway out. Brody volunteered, jumped in the truck, went down there, and I don't know how much he made, but he went down and shoveled out some elderly couple's driveway to make a little money. And
good for him.
Back to the dorm. But he sent me pictures, and it's a lot of snow. It's like you can see it up to the first wire, the barbed wire on the fence, bottom wire.
All right, guys, that's a good show. We'll see how the weekend works out. Next Wednesday, we'll give y'all a full report of what happens in this flooded water. It's going to be interesting this weekend. I guarantee you that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning. What, Kevin?
Be careful, everybody.
Yeah, be careful. Be safe out there, and wear your safety harness if you climb up in that tree. And I guarantee you, if Jeff Barron was on here, he would tell you the same thing. All he was doing was climbing up to check on a friend's stand. He said when he got to the top, turned around and stepped on the platform. He did a dive into the ground. It's a darn wonder he's living there, too. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, y'all be careful, be safe, and we'll see y'all next week, same time, same channel, right here with the outdoor reporters on the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. me. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk, and climb and do it all